Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at just an incredible Champions League semifinal, the second leg. Inter Milan versus Barcelona, May 6, 2025.
What a match that was. Ended 4-3 to Inter after extra time.
Exactly. 4-3 on the night, which meant, incredibly, 7-6 on aggregate. Inter knock out Barca and head to the final.
Yeah, played at the San Siro, the Giuseppe Meazza, and, well, the drama, the goals.
Yeah.
It's already being called an all-time classic semifinal, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. One of the greats. And what we really want to unpack for you today is how this unbelievable game happened. A high-scoring thriller, a comeback within a comeback.
Just pure chaos, really. How did Inter let a lead slip? How did Barca fight back? And then how did Inter win it again?
Precisely. So let's dive in. Inter, they started this second leg pretty strong, didn't they? Kind of picking up where they left off.
They really did. Very similar approach to the first leg, quite aggressive, looking to impose themselves early.
And it paid off. Lautaro Martinez, 21 minutes in, gets the first goal.
Yep. Set up by Denzel Dumfries, who was, well, a key figure across both legs, really.
He certainly was. And then just before halftime, a penalty. Hakan Çalhanoğlu steps up,
And converts it. Cool as you like. So suddenly it's 2-0 to Inter on the night.
which puts them 5-3 up on aggregate.
Yeah.
Seems pretty comfortable at halftime, especially considering Dumfries had scored twice in the first leg, too. They looked in control.
Booked it, yeah. That 2-goal cushion must have felt significant, but it clearly forced Barcelona to change things up dramatically after the break.
Oh, dramatically is the word. The second half.
Yeah.
Completely different story. Barcelona came out flying.
They had to, really. And they got one back fairly quickly, didn't they? Eric Garcia?
Yeah, 54th minute, Gerard Martin with the assist. Suddenly, a bit of hope for Barca.
And then just 6 minutes later, bang, another one.
Dani Olmo, a diving header. I remember that one. Martin again with the assist. Incredible turnaround.
Just like that, it's 2-2 on the night, 5-5 on aggregate, all square. The momentum just completely swung, didn't it?
Totally flipped. You wonder what Hansi Flick said at halftime? They just seemed to find another gear, maybe exploiting spaces better.
Possibly. More directness, perhaps. Whatever it was, it worked. And then the moment it looked like Barcelona had actually done it,
The 87th minute, Rafinha scores.
makes it 3-2 to Barcelona on the night.
And crucially, 65 on aggregate. For the first time in the entire tie, Barcelona are leading.
Unbelievable. After being 5-3 down at halftime in this leg, you'd think psychologically that's devastating for Inter.
You really would. Game over, surely. But no.
Not quite. This Inter side, under Inzaghi, they seem to have this resilience. Stoppage time.
Third minute of added time, 90 plus 3. Dumfries is involved again, wins a header, nods it back across.
Then Francesco Serbi is there, puts it in.
3-3 on the night. 6-6 aggregate. Just madness.
Pure madness. And Acerbi becoming the second oldest scorer ever in a Champions League semifinal. 37 years old. What a moment for him.
Incredible story. And that goal right at the death must have just deflated Barcelona and given Inter a huge lift going into extra time.
Absolutely. The psychological pendulum swings back again. And Inter carried that momentum into the extra period.
They did. Only 9 minutes into extra time, the 99th minute.
Substitute Davide Frattesi gets on the end of a pass from Mehdi Taremi, another sub.
And scores. Makes it 4-3 to Inter.
7-6 on aggregate. And that turned out to be the winner. Just an incredible substitute impact from Frattesi and Taremi. Inzaghi got that one right.
He certainly did. But even then, Barcelona didn't give up. They pushed, they searched for another equalizer right until the very end.
Which brings us to the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer.
Ah, yes. He was immense, wasn't he? Especially late on.
Crucial. Absolutely crucial. Deep into stoppage time, at the end of extra time, Lamine Yamal has 2 chances.
And Sommer denies him both times. Huge saves. Game-winning saves, really.
Definitely. Wayne Rooney singled them out afterwards, called them world class. Sommer made 7 saves in this match, 14 across the 2 legs. You can't win ties like this without your keeper stepping up.
Absolutely not. What a performance from him. So, after all that chaos, what was the reaction like? Inzaghi must have been thrilled.
Oh, ecstatic. It's his second Champions League final in 3 seasons with Inter. That's a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, it really is. And the players, Lautaro.
Lautaro Martinez, the captain, spoke about his pride, the team's spirit, the determination. You could hear the emotion.
And Matteo Darmian, the fullback. He mentioned their never-give-up attitude, didn't he? Playing with heart.
He did. Sums up their performance, really. They needed all of that.
And on the flip side, Barcelona, Hansi Flick.
Obviously disappointed with the result, but he was quite measured. Said he wasn't disappointed with the performance, especially the second half fight back,
Right. He mentioned feeling like the 50-50 calls didn't quite go their way.
which you often hear after such a tight, emotional game. Eric Garcia echoed that a bit too. Said going 2-0 down was tough, praised the reaction, but also hinted at some refereeing decisions they weren't happy with.
Understandable frustration, I suppose. When you look at the stats, this tie was just wild.
It really was 13 goals in total. 13. That ties the record for the highest scoring Champions League semifinal ever.
With Liverpool versus Roma back in 2017-18, puts in perspective.
And Inter's home record is just formidable, unbeaten in 15 Champions League games at home now. Barcelona, meanwhile, still haven't quite cracked playing Inter away, only 1 win in 6 visits.
Interesting. And even though Barca went out, they were the top scorers in the competition this season, right? 40 goals.
Yep, 40 goals, shows their attacking power, but Inter just found a way, and, well, we have to mention Dumfries again.
We really do. Involved in 5 of Inter's 7 goals over the 2 legs, scoring, assisting, just a constant threat.
A massive influence. On the Barca side, though, despite the loss, you saw flashes of brilliance, particularly from the youngsters.
Lamine Yamal, definitely. For a teenager, his stats this season in the Champions League, shots on target, dribbles, apparently record-breaking since they started tracking that data back in 03-04.
Impressive. And Pedri, too, pulling the strings in midfield, led Barca in passes completed, line-breaking passes leading to shots. So, positives for them to take despite the heartbreak.
Absolutely. So looking forward, Inter's off to the final in Munich, May 31st.
Yep, against either Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain. A huge night awaits them.
And for Barcelona, their European dream is over, but domestically.
Still lots to play for. They're leading La Liga, got that crucial El Clasico coming up against Real Madrid.
Plus, they've already bagged the Copa del Rey and the Supercopa this season, so still a chance for a very successful domestic campaign.
Definitely. So, wrapping this up, what a deep dive. This Inter-Barcelona semifinal was, well, truly something special. Inter's resilience, Sommer's heroics, Dumfries' impact. They just edged out a brilliant Barcelona comeback.
An epic contest decided by the finest margins. And maybe here's something to think about for you. After riding such an intense emotional roller coaster, how does that affect the team? What impact will this have on Inter's mindset heading into that massive final? And for Barcelona, how do they channel that disappointment as they face El Clasico and try to lock down La Liga? Momentum psychology. It's all crucial at this stage, isn't it?
Absolutely crucial. Something definitely worth considering.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.